3 Pro. What can I say? Here we are in the clouds again. We'll be coming out of these clouds pretty soon. Something about this flight to let you know is this flight's going to be a screen recording flight. I had a problem with my good footage. I accidentally had my clunky palms too close to the screen and shut off the record button. So we'll have the screen recording today and nothing else. Anyway, this is a very windy day. As you can see, I'm flying power lines right in front of me, high power lines too. So got to get over them. I'm over them now, and we're going to take off here and head to the southwest for a little while. We're shooting at 4K 30, and you know as well as I do that the screen recording video is less than 1080p. You know, it's like 720, 980, somewhere in there. But it's less than HD for sure. So anyway, we're going to take her for a short flight, see how she's doing in the wind today. Headed down over some ponds. I'd flown in this area one time before, but not from this location, so I thought I would do this. Actually, I watched a little bit of the footage, the high definition 4K 30 footage. It came out beautiful until I hit the stop button. Or hit the start button. You can see on the screen that it is not recording now. So it will on the way back, just right before I get ready to land. So anyway, we're cruising along here, headed due south. And let's see, you can tell the sky is tilted again. The wind is blowing from the left to the right. And therefore the Mini 3 is going to have gimbal tilt. Nothing new. It's not as bad as the Mini 2. You know, and you can stop and correct it all in flight, but then when you turn around or face the other direction and the wind's blowing from the other side, you got to stop and do it again. So I don't fool with it. So we're going out for a flight just to see how she's doing in the wind. I checked before you fly, before I took off, and gusts at altitude were 20 to 25 plus miles an hour. So, but Mini 2 does or Mini 3, excuse me. Thelma Lou is her name. She does real good in the wind. I mean, she tends to drift a little bit, and the gimbal tends to get a little cockeyed when the wind's blowing at a cross angle to me. But other than that, yeah, I'm not afraid to fly her in 20, 25 mile an hour winds. We're going out for a short flight here. Not that far today. This area has some interference in it, and I'm not sure what it's from, but we'll run into it here in a little while. Got the Fly More battery in, so she's got good range today. As far as time that, you know, for battery time. The other range, yeah, my Mini 2 still outperforms my Mini 3 as far as range and signal strength. Always has since I got it. I see some of the people out there, you know, flying 15, 20, 25,000 plus feet. I don't know how they're getting that. They're flying over the ocean to begin with, I guess, but I think they've got 1 in a million on the quad that they got. Mine would never come close to doing that. But that's fine and dandy. I'm not worried too much about that. I'm more worried about how she performs in the air and reliability. I'm going to come up on some more ponds here. This area here seems to be a lot of agriculture, a lot of greenhouses and growing trees, like a tree farm, and maybe fruit trees and stuff, cedar trees. I can't really tell. On the way back, I'll fly over some of that. And I am not sure about this. This lake looks like it's got a dam in the center of it. Almost looks like a road that rides right over the center of it. Kind of strange. see a lake that small with that in it. But it looks like an earthen dam of some kind. So we're in normal mode now. Just booking along. Usually I fly in cine mode, but today I wanted to get this flight out of the way because I had a few other things to do. And you can see my signal's in the orange. Now it's back in the white. Now it's back in the orange. 3 bars, it'll go back to white, and then it'll go back to orange, and there's the white again. Oop, back to orange. And you can see by my little pointer up there to the right of the RC signal, I am pointing pretty close to spot on to where she's at. But she just likes staying in that orange and flipping to red and then white. Now she's down to 2 bars and 3 bars. So we're about where I want to turn on. Now she's back up to 4 bars in the white. Now she's down. I mean, it's just, I think a lot of it with this drone is the antenna position in the drone itself sucks. The placement in the drone is terrible, and there's not enough antenna in the drone. And just a slight little veer of direction can cause you to lose signal or get in the orange or the red. So we're going to flip back into auto return to home here and let her fly back on her own for a little bit. I always test that out. I like knowing that that feature is working and working correctly with all the firmware updates they have. You better check it out. Make sure she's working all the time. So I'll leave it in that for a little while, then I'll go ahead and I like taking back the steering. There it is. I'm back on the sticks now. Now you can see I'm going into sport mode, and the little red signal at the top next to the signal strength indicates that I'm not pointing exactly at the drone, which is surprising to me because I thought I was. But I got 4 bars in the white anyway. We're coming back. Now here's where I was talking about. It looks like they're growing stuff. These greenhouses down here. I'm kind of flying over it quick. You can see the video kind of stuttering there a little bit. In sport mode, that's what you get. I don't like that at all. You know. I very rarely fly in sport mode, and this is one of the reasons why. Your video quality from the gimbal doing all kinds of funny things just is terrible. So anyway, we'll fly back straight. We're not worried about the video quality today. We're wanting to take her out just for a flight in the wind and test how Thelma Lou does in the wind, and as usual, she does real good in the wind. But it is having an effect on the gimbal in sport mode. It's causing that stuttering that you saw there. And I think that'll stop once I take it out of sport mode up here in a little ways and put it back in normal mode. And I'm checking to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, and it is. But you can tell by the video, the jitteriness in the video. Flying the Mini 3 in sport mode in the wind is not conducive to good video quality. So I hesitate putting this up, but I'll probably stick it out there anyway, just for the heck of it. Went to 5 different locations to fly. All of them just had too many people. One was at a rock quarry, which would have been really cool to see. And there was some really nice meadows and glades that I wanted to fly over, but there again, there's just people everywhere out today. So put the kibosh on that. I think I'm going to take it out of sport mode right up here and get ready to put her in normal mode. I should have put her, I might have put her in cine, I don't remember, but probably normal mode, but we'll see. I think it's right up here. Boy, that jerkiness of that video just sucks. Not good at all. Okay, we'll stop. Take her out of sport mode here, I think. Yeah, now she's back in normal. And probably should have put it in cine mode. That's where I like to fly when I'm in no hurry at all. The video is just so much smoother when you're in cinematic mode than sport mode or normal mode. So here we are, we're coming back. Getting real close now. Now there's high lines, high power lines on both sides of this stinking road. And I got to come over them, and right now the sun is blinding me. It is not doing my controller any good. Having a hard time seeing it on the controller. And the wind is blowing, and you'll see that's in the trees, and I'm got trees there and high power lines, 40 feet in front of me. Not the best place to fly and take off at, but I was very limited on what I could do today. So right now, I cannot see the drone at all. It's right over my head. I cannot see it because of the sun. I cannot see the screen because of the sun. I think I came ill prepared. Should have had a sun screen on the controller, but I didn't. I've got one at home, and I didn't bring it either. You know, when you get them wild hairs to go ahead and fly. So I know I'm very, very close to the wires, so I'm going to come over the wires a little bit, I think, to be safe, and then I'm going to lose her again in the sun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up putting her in return to home mode, let her get a little altitude there, turn around and get her bearings. And I should have done it anyway because I wanted to see how she was doing in the wind on where she was going to land on return to home. And sometimes she does really good, considering she doesn't have any precision landing or anything like that. So I think I'll put her in return to home here. Let her spin back around where I can maybe get an eyeball on her in the sun. Let's go forward a little bit more. Try looking down again to see if I can see my screen where I'm at. Not much better. So we'll bring her down a little closer. As you can see, look at the tree tops and the trees. Wind's blowing pretty good. So are we going to land in these trees and lose the Mini 3? Wreck it? No. We're going to go ahead and put her in return to home, let her get some altitude, spin around, get orientated. There she goes. And I think I've got my return height, 200 and some odd feet for return to home, somewhere in there. So she's going to come back up, and I'm sure she'll get right over the top of me now. And the only reason why I'm doing this, like I said, is I couldn't find her in the sun, and the screen was so washed out. I mean, it's a good screen especially when you have a little bit of shade, which I, as you could see, have none of either. So probably should have hit return to home when I got close to these high wires anyway, high power lines, just to be as accurate as I could. But you can see she's coming down, and I'm going to take over, but she's spot on. I mean, that landing pad is right beside my truck, 2 feet from the side of my truck. And she wants to come down and land on that pad, believe it or not. She looks like she is going to zero in on the pad here in a second. I've taken her out now. I've returned to home. Now I can look at the shadows. You can see what I'm dealing with. There she is. She was locked on there. She saw the landing pad. And we're going to bring her back home. Well, it was a flight that wasn't what I wanted it to be. It lost my good recording and had some problems with the video being jerky and sport mode and stuff like that on a very, very, very windy day. So I'll probably post this. I'll look at it and upload it and post it. If it's not very good, you'll never see it. So thanks for watching. If you do watch, stay safe. Take care of each other.